Now we have audio.
Well, you know, it's been like a year since I lost my cat, and I just miss my cat so much. And I've had a lot of cats, and they've all been great. I'm sure everyone's pets are, and I just, you know, just
what was
miss
the
my
kitty's name?
Socks, not Red Sox.
Not Bill Clinton socks.
No. But
what kind of kitty?
yeah, I don't know. He was just a mixed breed, and, you know, it's a smaller cat. You know, I'd come home. Every time I come home, he would like run to the door and greet me, and I would, you know, you get little tennis, golf balls, little wiffle balls, and you throw it down the hall, and he'd run after it and come and bring it back to me, and you know, we just interact a lot. You know, so it was like probably my best friend. Which is sad, perhaps. But you know, I love the kitties. I mean, all animals. I think is very special.
So this is 2 days after Peter Noon's birthday, Guy Fawkes Day.
Oh,
is
this is Guy Fawkes Day?
No, November 5th, Peter Noon's birthday.
Okay, Herman's.
Yes. So I guess it's the Peter Noon birthday concert tonight.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
I don't know.
Oh, good. Well, if I had known, I would have learned
Henry VIII.
Henry VIII. That's what Mrs. Brown.
He does a punk version now of Henry VIII. It's awesome.
I bet he's I bet he's still really good.
It's incredible. Yeah. And we got Mickey Bliss is behind you.
Oh,
you know Mickey Bliss. You don't have to.
You got him
camera. I'm Mickey Bliss on Visual Radio.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you've been on Visual Radio before.
Yes, I have.
You can say this is Mickey Bliss on Visual Radio.
This is Mickey Bliss on Visual Radio.
So your 45 is re-released?
Yes, sir.
On vinyl or CD?
On vinyl.
Oh, vinyl.
On vinyl. Final vinyl.
Is it on colored vinyl or black vinyl?
Black vinyl.
Very good.
Yes, sir. So they're selling like hotcakes.
Is it the same label?
Yes, sir. Hitman Records.
Hitman Records, which is like 20, 25, 30 years old?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay,
82, however long that is.
82, okay, 27.
Yeah, 81, 82.
Very good, sir.
Yeah. You helped me get started, Joe, so thank you very much. Now I gotta get back to work.
The man works very hard.
I used to book him in my club.
Really?
Yeah, the Cantones, from the Cantones to the Cantab.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Yep, so I can put this down. Oh yeah, the battery's full. You've never been back here, have you, Ian Lloyd?
No, I have not. It's very scary back here.
This is Mickey's Dungeon. Would you like a seat? This is great. This is like an old-time...
I like it.
Rock club from like 1968.
Very cryptic.
Well, Ian Lloyd, what do you think of Cambridge?
It's beautiful. A beautiful town. I especially love the police.
I was going to ask you that. Let's start, like Yoko Ono says, let's start at the start. So this evening, you met the constable.
Yes, I did. Very nice man. Very nice. He was apologetic, and I'm here to speak out loud. So
you do realize you were parked in front of an old police station?
I do now. Yes.
The king of Otopo in front of the police station. I love it.
You know, it's like becomes such a natural and harmless act that you kind of forget that it's illegal, especially when people are smoking cancer sticks out there. You know. That kind of stuff. I mean, if you got to smoke, don't smoke cigarettes. That's my advice.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So, okay, I don't want to go there too far, but we're going to go there. I heard that because marijuana does not have a filter, it's like taking a match to an elastic band, and that's if your vocal cords are the elastic band, the match to the elastic band is what marijuana does to your voice.
Well, that may be true, but I feel that I sing better today than I've ever sung, and a lot of that has to do with, you know, working with John Anderson from Yes and Foreigner, just because I pick up ideas and chops and stuff. But I have to say I've been smoking for about 40 years daily, and I'm stronger vocally than ever. So I don't cough. I have to say that the fellow who searched me, had a really bad cough. So I don't know what he's smoking, but he was like, man, are you okay? Do you need a cough drop?
He had kennel cough from the tack dogs. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, allergic to dogs. All right, I'll buy that.
So you were outside with a young band. We won't say their name, I guess.
Well,
since they were popped by the constable.
Yeah, I mean the constable was cool, and he thought we were doing a drug deal or something, and after he realized that all we had was like a joint or a roach, that we weren't dealing, so it was very nice and let us go. Told us never to smoke pot in Boston again. So I guess we can't come to Boston anymore, but we're going to be in Boston soon. Ian Lloyd and Stories, or Ian Lloyd's Stories.
This is a cool angle, so I'm going to talk to you, and then I'm going to get a little microphone out there. So while you're telling a stories,
okay.
What I'd like to do is this album is Oedipo. See? That's my hand, and that's the album. Oedipo. And as you know, Ian, I do a thing on the magazine, and now on the show. You're the first guest to do this, going track by track on visual radio.
Sure. Okay, fine.
The first track, is that an intro?
It's an intro track. It's something that I actually, back in the mid-'70s, I was walking around a swamp with an old, one of the first early Sony stereo recorders, portable, and just, recorded a bunch of frogs and crickets and stuff, and I'm fond of frogs, I guess. I didn't realize that, but the usage of it, I kind of had this picture, because, Oedipo is the eau de cologne of marijuana kind of thing. I kind of had this vision of asteroid, just of swamp and, green growing plants, etc., and aliens coming to harvest the Poe crop.
Oh, so that's why James Cameron got the idea for Avatar.
Well, maybe. I haven't seen Avatar yet, but it looks like it's really good. I've seen Coming Attractions.
You should use the soundtrack right there.
Is that what it's about?
Well, no. He creates a world. He creates a green world or some kind of fascinating world, and they spent $300 million on this movie.
Wow. Yeah.
And the 3D effects are supposed to be totally.
It's animated or.
No, I think it's his usual like Terminator.
Oh, really?
Remember the Abyss?
Sure.
And he had that thing that he used in Terminator 2, that watery thing. That he used for the Terminator as well. And
great special effects. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's taken that to the next level. I'm not sure, but it certainly is an exciting.
It's a great concept. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's created another world that's going to be totally mind-blowing, and it's in 3D, but 3D like you've never seen real life 3D. And Michael Jackson was doing 3D on his tour.
Right, I heard that. Yeah.
In the movie, This Is It, you will see this 3D world they created, and it's pretty. I mean, that tour had everything. I'm not telling you too much about it because I want you to see it, and then I want to talk to you about it.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine if being at a concert and having 3D happening off the stage or a screen behind the stage or whatever he was doing.
The screen behind the stage and then the live
exciting,
action.
Yeah.
And then he had an old 40s movie with the 40 stars, and he was like the gangster in it.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
He did. That was one of his hits. I think had him in the gangster.
Smooth Criminal.
Smooth Criminal.
Yeah, and it might have morphed into that 40s movie. It was great.
Yeah. A real giant talent. Someone to start that young, that great, and to reach where he reached, and it's just amazing to think what else he would have done.
It's amazing to be $300 million in debt or whatever it was, and get $100 million to do a tour.
Yeah. How does that work? How does that work?
How do we get $300 million in debt? So people. Jimmy Miller, the late Jimmy Miller, always said to me, Joe, record deal, get as much as you can from them, then we're on the hook, and they'll spend more to recoup the money.
Yeah.
He was right.
Yeah. Definitely.
You get a singles deal, they don't want to know you.
Yeah. They have to invest, and then now they've invested, they don't want to lose their investment, so unless it's a tax write-off, to total. But,
well, there was a big investment in Brother Louie. They kind of knew from the hot chocolate that they had a hit, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Who brought the hot chocolate tune to you guys?
Yeah, it was actually a man by the name of Bob Reno. He was Buddha Records A&R guy, you know, and he played me a bunch of songs, and Brother Louie was one of them, and I heard it through the first chorus and said, this is a hit. This is a hit. This is the one I want to do. Because we were trying to get one more song, you know, that we could, you know, milk, you know, get radio, AM radio play. Back when there was AM radio play.
I'll have you know, in Kenmore Square, there was a little store called New England Music City. Mm-hmm. And there was a About Us album.
Right.
And it didn't have Brother Louie on it. But I bought it.
Are you angry?
No. I was thrilled to actually be one of the first to buy About, you know.
It's funny.
Was it the About Us album that had Brother Louie?
Well, it's About Us album that didn't have Brother Louie and then did have Brother Louie.
Right, so I bought it first without it.
We had recorded the album and pressed the album and had the first pressing sent out, and we still hadn't added Brother Louie. That was kind of like, guys, you know, we really need to have a hit on this album, you know. And so they added it, and it became a hit. And all the subsequent all the pressings actually includes the hit Brother Louie. And of course, as you know, the very first printings, which was, I don't know what they printed, but it was a substantial amount, did not have it, even though it had the sticker.
Well, you know what they did with the sticker? They put the single inside the album.
No.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I think I bought it without the single, and I think they put the single in the album, if I'm not correct.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't. It's the first time I've heard that, but it's possible. I do know that I got so much flack from people who bought the album and the Brother Louie wasn't on it. I said, well, like, first of all, it's a collector's item, you know, just because in some way it's a collector's item. And I actually started carrying Brother Louie 45s with me, and you know, people would come backstage because we were a very hands-on band. You know, we loved to mingle with the fans. And people would come backstage, and as soon as they start talking about, you know, my album, I'd pull it out, and I'd autograph the single for them and say, here, man, I'm sorry. You know, it's the record company. It's not me, man. You know, it's like, but kind of interesting, you know. But true, you know, I did do that.
Before I bought it, I, of course, saw you at the Stone Phoenix Coffee House.
Right.
Boylston Street.
Boylston Street.
Great little room, we're one flight down. It was two flights down.
It was two flights down.
Jonathan Richmond played there with a postmodern Modern Lovers. You guys played there, and those are two memories I have really fun.
Yeah. Well, you know, I enjoy performing. It's pretty much my whole life I've been performing. So.
And then after About Us came out, you played what was called the Boston Club up. It's now the Paradise Theater.
Oh, really?
But the Paradise Theater, the stage is. When you walk in, it's to the left, but it used to be where the soundboard is now to the right. Okay. And when you played there, it was Tom Rush. I saw Tom Rush there. I saw you there. It was the Boston Club.
It was a big club.
Yeah. And Stories was there.
I also remember playing Katie's.
Yes, I didn't see you there, but that was a big venue.
That was
now the Gap.
It's now the Gap. You mean like the close, the Gap? Okay.
You remember the Katie's gig, huh?
Yeah, I do. I think possibly because I remember the promo for it. You know, I got all that memorabilia at home, and that was one of the things that Katie's had the About Us silhouette thing on it. You know,
yeah, that was a downstairs club. The Boston, the Kenmore Club. That was the Kenmore Club upstairs, and downstairs was Katie's, and in the back there was a third club. And the 2 doors away is where I bought the album. New England Music City was 2 doors away from Katie's. Steam, Na Na Hey Hey played a whole...
Na Na Na. Na Na Na. Okay.
They did a whole week there. New York Dolls played there.
Oh. The Dolls were great. Yeah.
March 1st, 73. It was like being in an airplane hangar. They were
really
so loud. Steve Tyler was in the back. He wasn't famous yet. He was watching them.
Oh, really? But Stories actually played with Aerosmith a few shows when, I think, probably around the Dream On time, which was more, you know, the original Aerosmith stuff before them. I think we're going to be on next.
Oh. Then
social
I won't
hero.
the microphone. So we covered the first track, and we covered Brother Louie a bit. What about Wonderful World?
Wonderful World. It's just a, kind of what I feel it should be, and probably isn't, but in a way, when you have that magic moment with someone you meet or share something special with, it becomes, for a short time, or if you're lucky, a long time, a wonderful world in that relationship. But in the, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek about how it could be a wonderful world, should be a wonderful world, but, we can make it for ourselves personally, because of the nature of things that exist today.
Now, the album was in limbo for a long while?
Yeah, we actually recorded it in the late, it was right around the World Trade thing. It was pretty much just about done when that happened. And my co-producer, Tony Sankitz, brilliant guy, passed away. And it got lost in the legal family thing, and so I actually decided that I'm going to put this out the way it was done, even though I wanted to update the sounds, because 5-6 years, a lot of electronic stuff sounds have gotten better, and I wanted to update them, but couldn't do it, and so I just kind of did the best I could and put it together the way it exists today. And I'm very excited about it, and I feel that there's really nothing like it out there. It's a bunch of styles meshed together. There's a little U2, obviously a lot of Ian Lloyd. There's some Yes and Foreigner influences, because I do all the vocal work on as well as lead and backgrounds.
What did you do with John Anderson?
Yes Union. I was hired to help John out, because I can do John pretty well, and background vocals and some of the more textured stuff, so he could be free to do other things. And I was actually hired to do ABWH. It was to be their next album, and then the reason they called it Yes Union was because the two factions, the John Anderson and the Trevor Rabin factions, one was on Arista and the other was on Atlantic Records, through a big negotiation, a lot of legalities and stuff, Arista eventually got both factions to be Yes, and they took what we were doing for ABWH and combined it with the tracks that Trevor and Chris Squire were doing for Atlantic, and made it the one CD and called it Union, because it was actually the reunion of both camps. So because Yes kind of became two camps. There was two Yeses actually.
Wow.
Atlantic owned the name Yes. I hear A Wonderful World. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps.
I wonder how that happened.
I don't know. They must know I'm back here in the dungeon.
I think the guy from Newbury PA was here too.
Oh. Sounds damn good out there. It could be.
So you still get a thrill hearing the music played through different speakers.
It's great. We're all artists and musicians and creative, and it's always nice to hear your music, I remember the first time I heard Brother Louie before it broke out big time. We were, I think it was in Nashville airport, driving to our hotels, and it came on the radio, and they announced it. And now the most requested song of the week, Brother Louie by Stories, boom, and we're all looking at each other going, wow, this is crazy, because we didn't know what was to come, we hope, but everybody hopes.
Now, what do you think when you hear your song coming through the walls, so you've never heard it in this context?
This is great, because I can hear all the people in there, and I know they're digging it, whether they know they're digging it or not, because it's a good song.
But sonically, isn't it interesting to hear a different speaker system and a...
Definitely. I know I tell people that if you listen to this whole CD, and I have to say, there's 10 tracks on it, but there's bonus tracks and a secret track that So it says 12, so there's 13. But if you have to buy the hard copy to get all of them. If you want
it's
just
not on
the
the
top
download,
10,
yeah.
you know, fine. You can download Brother Louie or Wonderful World, but you can't get the other stuff, which if you listen to this thing all the way through loud under headphones, you'll hurt your hearing. But you'll also get high. It definitely has a kind of ethereal thing happening. I mean, the first time I listened to the complete package under headphone, it was like, wow. You know, by the time the secret track got finished, I felt woozy. I'm like, ooh.
And you know what else?
You know,
The mix is fantastic because
that's all Tony Sankitz. Yeah, he's great.
you can hear all the back here,
Yeah.
far away from the speakers.
Yeah.
We can hear every distinctly,
It's all, yeah, you definitely can hear all the levels.
which you don't hear on a lot of stuff you're hearing today.
Well, you know, there's a lot of that, you know, a lot of over volume or pushing the volume for a lot of the stuff, which sonically kind of collapses the sound a little bit, you know. But Tony was just a great ear, and I just, you know, wish I had the opportunity to do another CD with him.
I like rich production like this.
Yeah.
It's important to me. The stuff for the buds,
Yeah.
it's just
Great. Yeah.
too thin.
Yeah, I agree.
And even when you hear the adult contemporary radio of today, even the stuff of Celine Dion's okay, her production work, but or whoever's producing for her, but other records for the middle of the road artists today still sound compressed and thin.
Well, I think they are. I think that's kind of what they do, and a lot of it has to do with MP3s.
Yeah.
You know, just not being as fat as a regular wave file. You know.
But I'm talking about
kinda
the
weird.
stuff getting played on the 50,000 watt stations.
Yeah,
It's just
you would think.
Brother Louie sounds better than a lot of the contemporary records, even though they have better equipment allegedly.
Right.
And all these
It's
tracks,
crazy, huh?
yeah, they don't have the precision of Gimme Shelter.
Yeah.
Or you can't always get what you want. Where
Yeah.
Jimmy had the 8-track.
Have you heard the? I have not heard the new Beatle remastered stuff. I'm curious how that, because that's kind of like trying to get the sound to be bigger and more like it was, I guess.
Are you asking my opinion?
Yeah, I just
You'll
wondered.
get it.
I haven't heard it.
My opinion, and Rob Fraboni, who's a mastering engineer as well as a producer, I think he concurs with this. The earlier stuff sounds excellent. Please Please Me
Right,
jumps
right.
out of the speakers, but Hey Jude suffers.
Really?
And I told him, I called up Rob, I said, man, you know, they really need your real feel on this because the cymbal is too dominant in the Hey Jude, and it wrecks, for me, the experience.
Yeah.
Because that was...
It's covering up some of the good things you want to hear, or you know you.
well, they're enhancing everything, but those tracks weren't recorded well.
Yeah.
Remember, they were bouncing and bouncing.
Right.
And
sure.
then you can hear more of the problems of bouncing comes out, and this heavy cymbal in Hey Jude just really kind of like, man, Please Please Me's older and sounds better.
Yeah. But how about Paul McCartney? Isn't he great the way he keeps going? I mean, I love the Fireman CD. I don't know if you've listened to that much, but
Is that
boy,
the Starbucks? He did one on Starbucks.
No, that's the. Well, I don't know if it was. It was. There was a Starbucks one, which was like Memories or something, and then there was the Fireman thing. So unless he had two out with Starbucks, it's probably not the Starbucks. I know the Starbucks thing was, which actually was a good album too. In the Backyard, remember in the back, something about the Backyard. Or,
I love Paul, but you know, for me, I go back to Ram and Uncle Albert, Album Halsey, and
yeah, there are a lot of some great solo stuff.
well, you know, you can do a fun thing. We do it on Gemzine, Ian. You can go on Gemzine and have some fun with it. White Album Volume 2. We take the Beatles solo tracks that should have been, because you know the White Album was really a solo record of like solo things.
Right, and they just brought it all together.
But it was a Beatles record. It's a great Beatles record. Because there were Beatles songs by the Beatles, but they weren't going off on tangents. The way Paul does, and George did.
Sure.
You find the tracks that are very Beatlesque. All Things Must Pass, of course, the Beatles recorded. So that's a perfect one to put on it.
Great, yeah.
Uncle Albert, Maybe I'm Amazed. These are perfect Beatles songs.
Yeah. It's interesting. You know, I've often had an idea of doing an album of all the Beatles songs that the Beatles never recorded. You know, I think there was a bunch of Peter and Gordon songs.
It Ain't Easy, Three Dog Night.
Yeah.
No, not Ain't Easy.
Well, no, that was Ringo.
It's For You.
I don't remember the title, but
It's For You.
There was a bunch of different, bunch of different things.
It Ain't Easy was Three Dog Night doing Ron Davies, not Ray Davies, Ron Davies. It Don't Come Easy was Ringo, but
Yes.
It's For You was John and Paul writing for, and then Cilla Black.
Please lock me away and don't forget the day here inside. Right, you know this? I'm bad with lyrics.
World Without
in
Love.
my loneliness, I don't know where I'd be in another world without love. What a great song. And it's so Beatley, but I'm sure they must have recorded demos of it as the Beatles. I don't know, but I've never heard them, you know. But there's a bunch of other, you know, artists that around that Apple Records time, that, you know, I think I'm going to have to go in.
All right, this has been a fun interview.
Getting...
And you'll be back on Visual Radio.
Oh,
You've been visualized tonight.
Of course, thank you.
November 7th, 2009.
And don't forget, I'm playing the Cantab here in Boston on December 5th, Saturday, December 5th. We're going to do stuff from O to Po, In the Land Of, and a bunch of hits from Stories.
With what band?
Ian Lloyd's Stories. I can't say and Stories, but Ian Lloyd's Stories. I have stories to tell, and I will be telling them here in Boston.
Alrighty, and Lloyd, I'm going to shoot a little bit of Social Hero.
Great, enjoy it. They're a great band.
All right, thank you, man.
This is for you. Hello, ladies. All right, I think we're just about ready to go.
Talking to Gary and Jim of the Guess Who.
Yeah.
Backstage at the Esplanade in Boston.
The Hatch Band Show.
Have you fellows played here before?
I've never played here.
Marty Ballin played here a month ago tonight.
Oh, really?
Of the Airplane.
Yeah.
He was our very first guest 13 years ago, and he said the acoustics, when he walked off the stage.
Well, it's all wood on top of the concrete, so that makes a whole big difference. It's really ambient, actually.
Jim, it's good to see you again, because in 1981 we did a gold mine interview.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I saw the piece. And you know, it's just, we were younger then, had different color hair. Yeah.
I brought all sorts of record albums.
Yeah, this is a classic. This was deleted. Shaking all over the Guess Who's.
Yeah.
Scepter Records. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was quite the. The cover was quite a mind expander.
Pickwick did this.
They must have thought we were a black group. I don't know. Pickwick, yeah. Wild one.
What's interesting is those early tracks with a fellow from Bachman did Brave Belt, Chad Allen.
Yeah, Chad Allen.
He was the original singer.
He was the original singer. He wasn't from Brave Belt. He was from us first.
Right.
He was us.
But that material, all the singles that he did in Canada, seem to appear all over the place.
Well, you know, These Eyes was the band's 18th single. You know, it didn't happen quickly. Now, you know, and that's the case with most acts. You know, or most actors. You know, the film that they do, you know, the big parts, the small label deals. It's all the same thing.
Yeah, we had 3 albums with Quality Records in Canada before the These Eyes We Feel Soul albums.
What about today? It's 2008. Are you recording?
We have done a 6-song DVD. We repeated Shake It All Over, the five newer entities, and we're talking about doing some more recording.
We will probably do some more.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of time until we do something.
So you have a DVD with Shakin' All Over.
That's called Shakin' in Las Vegas.
it's just an
It's here for sale actually today. It's on the merch table. So.
with all the hits you fellows have, Shakin' All Over is such an important component of the catalog. I felt badly when it wasn't part of the repertoire all the time.
Well, it is tonight.
Well, it is tonight. So
Oh, really?
It is tonight.
Oh, cool.
You'll hear it.
Oh, excellent. Well, you know, Marty Ballin had Dee Dee Stewart from Berkeley College sing White Rabbit and Somebody to Love.
Yeah.
No one expected it, being a Marty Ballin show. It brought the
Yeah.
house down.
Yeah.
I'm sure Shakin' All Over will just blow them away.
Well, we hope so.
We hope so, because it was actually fairly big in Boston.
Yeah.
Well, Shakin' All Over was broken by BZ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The fellow Joe Smith,
broke it in the States.
the DJ Joe Smith became a major record
I
executive.
don't recall.
Don't remember, but it was the big WBZ.
Yeah. There's still a clear channel station, meaning that half of the East Coast still hears BBC.
There's still radio out there.
Really?
But they're news and information. They're the #1 station in Boston still.
Yeah. Wow.
Who's in the new band, the current lineup?
Well, outside of the pensioners here, we have Lawrence McKenzie on guitar, we have Leonard Shaw plays keyboards and flute, Derek Sharp on guitar and vocals.
Lead vocal, yeah.
So 5-piece.
Five. Yeah.
How long has this version of the band been together?
Well, Derek came to the band 3 months ago. Unfortunately, our singer, the previous singer, had a very, very bad accident. And
He's still in Australia.
he's recuperating. He's very, very serious.
I read that on your website. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But Laurie's been in the band 3 years, and Leonard's been in the band since 1990. Yeah, so, guys come, guys go. You know, it's like the Celtics. The players come, the players go. It's still the Celtics. Yeah.
But you fellows have kept the name Guess Who alive, you two in particular,
Yeah.
through all these decades.
For a long time. Yeah.
Long time.
It's really your baby, kind of.
Well,
It's inheritance.
it became ours by default, shall we say?
Yeah. The reunion album was done for TV. But that's a fun record. Do you have reunions from time to time?
Well, we had a couple, but
We had a couple. They really weren't. Didn't meet expectations.
they weren't the enjoyable experiences.
And I don't know that there will ever be again.
I would seriously doubt that there would ever be anything in that realm again.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but sometimes it's for the best for all concerned. You know,
When you look at all the CDs that have come out, especially
the bootlegs.
well, let's look at a legitimate one.
Oh, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Live at the
I
Paramount.
was asked a question about this on the website recently. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question now because this came out when Jay Giles' band had a double, and Bob Seger had Live Bullet.
Yeah.
And Frampton Comes Alive. Those double record sets really launched the band. This album got the Guess Who, at least in the Boston area, substantial FM airplay. You were becoming an FM act where you were an AM act.
Yeah, we started with ballads in the middle of the acid era. You know, there's hippies everywhere, and we're doing love songs. It was really bizarre. You know?
If you go back and listen to all the Guess Who albums, there are cuts on the album that you probably wouldn't guess that it's the Guess Who. Every album has some artistic cuts that could have been FM, but FM wouldn't play us because we had AM hits.
Perception. It's all pretty, perception.
You know, that's the way it was at that time.
But my hope was, had that been released as a double LP instead of years later, it's a great concert. It was a great single disc. Had it been released as a double, I think history would have been different. I think you would have received far more FM play.
Well, it came along. It came along when it was supposed to. It was after the fact, in a manner of speaking. But you know, it still served its purpose.
I mean, if you listen to So Long Valentine, there's some pretty interesting stuff on there.
And that was a transition album.
Sure.
Well, you know, every album was very eclectic, and then when the personnel was changing, the styles changed, the writing styles changed, the playing styles changed. So then there was you know, as you all know, there was quite a bit of that over the band's, call it initial 10-year run. 65 through 75. A lot of people went through the band, and a lot of different musical styles as a result.
One of my favorite singles is Hang On to Your Life, and the single was substantially different from the album version. You had those like slide guitars coming in. Did the band consciously do that, or was it the production?
I think, you know, I don't recall.
I don't recall anything being different, actually.
With the exception of the spoken
Yeah,
word thing at the
and
end.
maybe an edit or two, because to make it a different length or something, but recording-wise, it wasn't done any different.
No, there was nothing done,
You know, that was actually one of my favorite songs we'd done at the time, but I think it was into that Share the Land album, about the 4th or 5th single that they took off it, and I think radio just had enough of that.
Unfortunately,
It would have been
it's a good
interesting
song.
to have come up with that song after American
Right
Woman.
after American Woman would have made a lot.
Would have made more sense, but we didn't have it at that
I would
time.
recorded.
So,
I brought a stack of records.
oh yeah.
Anything that you want to talk
You need a
about.
valet to go.
I do.
Yeah.
We gotta make it quick because we're
Yeah.
To showtime, so let's wrap this up.
All right, we'll wrap. We got 10
This
minutes to
is
show.
not a particularly popular record of the time, but it was interesting because the cover of this was Artificial Paradise was junk mail. That's what it was supposed to be, and I don't think a lot of people got it really.
You've autographed this for me in the past. Could you guys autograph this for David at the Boston Phoenix?
Well, I wasn't on that album, so I'll autograph it. But
Need a plume.
You can autograph that one for me if you don't mind.
yeah.
And I appreciate the time you fellows, Jim Cale, and Gary Peterson, and the Guess Who.
We're up to the show enough first, but sure.
Yeah, we have something is getting in the way of this, and that's called a concert.
Which you've got a very substantial audience out there.
Yeah.
It's I come to many of these, and this is a very good crowd.
Nothing else I can say.
Thanks, Jim.
Please don't.
There you go.
You can do me good.
I gotta get my earphones in.
Thank you very much, Gary.
You're
Thank
certainly
you.
welcome. You're certainly welcome.
You're welcome, man.
You'll get Paul. You better take me for a second. Paul might wear you out.
Hello, Bob.
Joe, what's up?
You played on Bobby Head's birthday, and when I said I was going to go see the Cowsills, he started singing Indian Lake in the phone.
Really?
The fellow who sang Sunny.
I know Sonny.
Yeah, today's his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Bobby. Awesome. It was great being here in Boston. So great at the Hat Shell. So great at this evening with the weather and this is beautiful.
And the harmonies are perfect.
Oh, thanks a lot.
And how do you keep it up?
Well, we started when we were 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds. So we've been singing all our life. And I think with siblings and sisters and brothers, harmonies come a little quicker than, people that aren't related. So we have that DNA blend that's we're happy to have.
On the show, we do something, the demo that got the deal. Was there a demo that got you signed to MGM Records?
Well, actually, the demo that got us signed to MGM Records was the Rain the Park and other things because Mercury Records had dropped us from their label in 1965. We had put a couple of records out, so down we went. While we were off Mercury Records, they also fired our producer, Art Kornfeld. He came with us. He had written the Rain the Park and everything, so we went into the studio with no record label and made that record. And that ended up being the first release. And then they took the whole package. They put our mom in the band, put Susan in the band, and took it to MGM. And they bought it lock, stock, and barrel.
So as recorded, they did a remix.
No, it was, as you hear, that was the demo. The demo made it on Rain the Park. We were all right at that. Yeah.
That's the same story, Doris Troy.
Really?
Yeah, on the show. She did the demo of Just One Look.
Because, you know what? We kept trying to redo it because, you think this is just a demo, this is just a demo. But then you keep going and you realize you're not going to get better than what you did back then. You have to admit it and just take it, even though it was a demo.
Now, that's a masterpiece of production.
It's a good job. I agree. And I was only 17, so I can't take a lot of credit, but as an adult, listening back, I agree with you, Joe. Good record.
And to be with Artie Kornfeld in the studio at 17.
It was cool. He was a wonder kid. Yeah, he was a wonder kid at the time, and he knew what he was doing. We were just like, oh my God.
How old was Artie back then?
Artie, he was just in his 20s.
Really?
We thought he was like an 80-year-old guy, you know, because when you're a kid, everybody's an adult. And a 27-year-old looks like he could be your dad, you know. Artie was just kind of a born kid. He was at 24, vice president of A&R, Capitol Records. And this guy knew what he was seeing with us. We appreciate that.
Can we go back a little more to Mercury? What was the demo that got the deal for Mercury Records?
Mercury Records was a song called Most of All, which we played tonight. And it wasn't our demo that got us the deal. It was our recording of a demo they gave to us that somebody else recorded because we didn't write that. Yeah. So they gave us the song and we, filtered it through ourselves, And actually, most of all, almost was a hit. It made it to 212. Well, hey, out of 1,000 releases, maybe, right? Okay. It made it to 212. But it wasn't enough to keep us on Mercury Records, And so, we're doing a documentary finding out. The guy at Mercury Records who signed us, his name is Selby, and a really big giant in the industry in Nashville.
Selby promoted Sonny.
Oh, okay, there you go. Selby's, I'm sure, in a lot of people's stories. So I'm going to talk to Selby sometime and say, Selby, tell us why you dropped us from Mercury Records. Was it because we were in grade school still? I'd love to hear his answer.
But Selby Singleton.
Yes, he was the man. He was the man. And he was very, everyone was way young, So it wasn't, he became a kind of big deal later on because we followed his career after we left. We appreciate what he did because without Selby and Mercury, they wouldn't have been the next step. And we appreciate it.
Very cool. So, the documentary PBS?
Don't know yet. It's taken a long time to work on it. It's a big story with a lot of people and a lot of things in it. So we're really just getting the archival footage, interviews and all kinds of things that you do with the documentary. So, it'll be on, the Sundance channel and things like that.
It's interesting to hear you do the portraiture like wow.
Because we, honestly, they don't. I mean, I heard David Cassidy does, but I hear he reinvented that song. So we just do the record.
You do it great.
Yeah, we love it. It's a party song. And we never did it before. And just on this tour, this year is the only. Yes, this is the time we think, let's do the Partridge Family song. Why not? They're not going to do it.
That is so cool.
And keep it alive. But we like the recording version, so we just copy that.
And I know you're busy, and I appreciate your time. Is there more tour today, this year?
Well, tomorrow we go to Fenway to do the national anthem at the Yankee Red Sox game.
Very cool.
That's an emotional thing. That's a great thing. And that's special. And then we go to New York. We play at BB King's on Times Square Monday night, and then we go home.
And that's a nice game.
Oh, that'll be fun. BB King's. Oh, and we can do a longer show. This show is 50 minutes. We get to do an hour and a half. So. No, I'm in California, Paul's in Oregon, Susan's in New Orleans. We're spread out. Yeah. Susan's been in New Orleans a long time.
He was a friend of mine. I knew him from Warren, Rhode Island.
Yeah. So you knew him before he went back to New Orleans.
I knew him before he married my friend Debbie.
Oh, okay, all right. You knew him a long time ago.
Because I worked up at WCCY with Debbie.
Okay, got it. Yeah, Barry, he should have left New Orleans when it was time to leave, and he didn't. He paid the price.
Good guy.
Oh, gentle soul.
Yeah.
Gentle soul.
And very musical family, and a great show here.
Oh, thanks a lot. We had a blast out there. You should have seen the view. The people in the trees and the buildings. It was really something.
And what a great parent, Felix and.
Oh, this was great. Great. He's doing a good job up there.
He is.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate the time and the interest. Appreciate it.
Bye. Good luck,
everybody. See you out there.
And thanks to Mary Scott from the
WODS
45s, Oldies 103. She's got one of those cool Oldies 103 T-shirts, and maybe Jay can grab a shot of Barry. I'm Barry Scott on Visual Radio.
I'm Barry Scott on Visual Radio.
That's very programming. You put down a spot there and you handled it well. Oh, what do I say?
We're the Cowsills. What have you like to say?
What's the station?
Visual Radio.
I'm
Bobby Scott. Oh, sorry.
Joe Cortez.
Nice to meet you. I'm Joe Cortez on Visual Radio.
I'm Joe Cortez on Visual Radio.
Oldies 103.
Oldies 103.3 at Mix 98.5. CBS Radio.
Thank you.
Visual Radio? That's an oxymoron.
Hi, Hi, Patty Saunders here. I'm with Medford Arts Center, Inc. And welcome to Cafe Vicini. I am putting up my Scenes of New England. We are going to have a nice reception here, hosted by Laura Vicini, little wine and cheese and all that. But anyway, Medford Arts Center, Inc. We're also going to have our Arts Festival in Medford Square on September 13th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have about 25 different artists, and we're going to have entertainment all day long. Kids activities, painting, tie-dye t-shirts, everything. It will be our 4th year, and it's been wonderful for the past 4 years. So come on down there and come on by Cafe Vicini and see some of my artwork.
You don't mind if I take?
No, please.
In fact, I'm going to go outside and get the logo of the...
Okay.
Ah, yes. I love shopping.
Well, I can't wait.
Anyone want to be on camera?
It's this week, isn't it?
Yeah, sure, interested in
Not
customers.
particularly.
This week? Fresh.
Yeah, probably sooner better. Like, honestly, I can move it today. Yeah, like, yeah. Yeah.
What is this picture here, Patty?
Yeah, I just she's gonna look
This
right
door.
That is in Rockport, Mass.
Yeah.
Usually everybody
Has
walks,
everybody-
around the, up by Bear Neck and everything. But I like to get behind the scenes.
No, it's
And
not.
there's some great little old shacks back there that I really love. It's so quaint and everything. And I have this. I took this picture, and then the one in the window of the boys and all that. The top picture there, that's Walden Pond. There was 2 people that took their shorts off and went for a dive in the water. Of course, I didn't get them, but I got that picture of them.
Wow.
Yes.
It's great stuff. You have such a
And
great eye.
This one here is called stitching, a stitching effect. So it's different water scenes. It's kind of stitched together. So it's not just one photograph. It's several.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like you want to be there and there is no there to go to, right?
And most of these were taken in Newport, Rhode Island.
Wow. But that looks so beautiful, and you can't go there because it doesn't exist.
Well, no, it's all different.
Right.
But it's actually all in the same area. But yes, you can go there. And then this one here, the one with the bicycle, that's Provincetown. And I was there in April when it was very quiet and before the crowds.
Sure.
And all that. It's really nice. Because that's the famous Motif 1, a very well-known Motif 1 in Rockport. I kind of gave it a watercolor effect.
I love those.
So if you look close, you can see what's there in the painting.
So how do you do that? What, you do a watercolor effect?
Well, I have the software at home for my Nikon camera. And Nikon comes with a Coral Photo software, and you can put different, effects to it.
Interesting.
I try to be a little subtle and not too drastic.
Right.
So,
Nice work.
yeah. And then that's the Medford Boat Club. I was up there 2 weeks ago.
Wow, the Medford Boat Club.
Medford Boat Club.
Not to be confused with the Winchester Boat Club.
No, it's not Winchester. This is Medford.
There's 2 of them right near each other.
Yes, exactly, near the lakes. They're very close. In fact, if you just walk around from there, if you look across, that's Winchester.
Right, the
So
upper,
that's basically where those trees are. That's Winchester.
the upper Mystic Lakes.
Yeah, the upper Mystic.
Nice, beautiful sunset.
And then this is Newport, Rhode Island. These are nighttime scene.
Yeah, I'm really like.
I'm getting more liquor bottles than I am. There we go. The liquor bottles reflecting the light.
Oh, from behind.
Right. That's beautiful. What's that, Newport?
Yeah, Newport.
Wow.
And then, of course, that's my seaweed. That's down in the Cape. Beautiful beach and sandwich mats.
Nice.
The water is very clear. And this is Manchester by the Sea. I was there in May.
Manchester by the Sea.
Manchester by the Sea. That's on the North Shore.
Now, Patty, is there a theme to these?
Well, yeah, it's all New England, boating, beaches. I figured summer, this is a good idea.
Every 6 months.
Pretty refreshing looking scenes up on the wall here.
I love this one here.
Or the top one there, that's Gloucester, Good Harbor Beach.
Nice.
I was walking in the water when I took that. It was beautiful. Absolutely picture perfect day that day.
So it's Gloucester by the Sea.
That's actually Gloucester. It's Good Harbor Beach.
Good Harbor Beach. And this here is...
And that's the boat club again.
The Medford Boat Club? Oh, so we go from Gloucester to Medford.
Yes.
And
then
here...
that's Spot Pond.
Where is Spot Pond?
Spot Pond is it's on the Medford Stolen line.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
We go by it every day on 93, duh.
Yes, exactly. But that was a few years ago when we went for a rowboat ride on the pond.
So we have 3 photos here, Spot Pond and the Medford Boat Club in Gloucester. Nice.
Yes. And there's more in the window. If you want to, I don't know if you can.
Oh yeah, let's go outside.
Okay. I don't know how well you can see.
Oh, beautiful.
That's Gloucester again. That's a house up on Good Harbor Beach. Somebody's summer home.
Nice. I like the faded effect on it.
Yeah, and this is the footbridge in Medford. Famous footbridge.
I don't know if we're going to get these because of the sunshine.
Yeah, and that's again in Rockport, the Bowies, like where that door was, and that's the boat club again.
Not the David Bowies. The buoys.
The buoys. I like buoys. And then this is my door frames.
Okay.
Frames. It's just different. Sandwich mats and magnolias. But anyway,
hey guys, we're going to get right in between you. We won't get you on camera. Thank you.
Hi, this is Richie Havens on Visual Radio.
Cool. Richie, it was a great set.
Thank you.
What were you doing down in Nashville?
They have this benefit that they do every year. It's like a series of songwriters. It's for the Songwriters Health Association.
Oh, really?
So they do about 6 or 7 clubs every night for about a week. And different songwriters get together in 4 at a time. And they just trade songs off, It was beautiful.
Oh, wow.
It was really great, really great.
It was a great set here. The reception was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, I love it here. This is one of my favorite states. I play it here so much that, I got so many friends here, so it's wonderful.
Who's your accompanist?
Paul Williams.
Oh, okay.
He's been with me since the beginning.
Oh, he's great.
Oh, yeah. It's a good guitar player.
And what was that instrument you brought out at the very end?
That was called a shruti box. It's actually kind of like electronic, what do they call those? Harmonium. The Indians in India use it to learn to sing with and to practice sitar with.
Wow.
So it's a drone instrument.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're a busy guy. Just tell us what's on the horizon for Richie Havens.
Well, I'm working on a new album, and that'll be done fairly soon, I hope. Doing it in between running all over the place. But I'm going to probably be finished by the end of the month or beginning of next month. And that'll be out soon. But I'm just out on the road. I'm just working like crazy. And there's a film coming out that I did a song in called Warriors of Virtue. It's a children's movie.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and that'll be out in May.
Which song?
The song is called Inside of You. It's a beautiful song. It was written for the movie.
Oh, it's brand new then?
Yeah, it's brand new.
Brand new Richie Havens.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. I mean, you were great tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Coop on the 19th of September. Can you believe it, David Selby? Summer, where did it go?
You're kidding. You're right. I mean, where did it go? But then I think about that practically every day. Before I know it, you know, the holidays are here, but first the election is coming up.
It's an amazing time, and here you are on the road with a book, with everything else that you do.
Yeah. Well, it's the book's called Lincoln's Better Angel, and it was a humble experience writing. It was my first novel, and the story was I was, you know, came to me out of a story in the Washington Post years ago about a African American man who worked at the Lincoln Memorial, and his job was to take care of the memorial. And unfortunately, the real man passed away on a July 4th holiday because of the heat and humidity in D.C. at that time. But his story was so touching, and his family, he was a family man, he'd been a Vietnam vet, decorated, and I was just touched by his story. One of the things that moved me especially was the fact that he had, I guess, several workers at that time had been kept on a part-time status by the Park Service. As a result, they didn't have benefits. So, because of, I think, of James Hudson's death, the laws were changed because of that. Everybody wrote in letters, and the Congress complained, you know. So. But anyway, he inspired the novel.
David, is there a website for people to find information about the book?
Is there a website to find information about the book?
Yes, go to www.davidselby.com.
davidselby.com. That's cool. All right, great.
Yeah.
David, any movies, TV appearances soon?
I did a couple of... I have a movie, television little series I did, a little role, because I wanted it to be a recurring role, but I don't know what's happened with it. It's on a show by Stephen Boschko. It's called Raising the Bar. I've always liked him and his work. And I did a movie not too long ago in Santa Fe. I've done several independent films now. And that's what I've been doing mainly. I had a television show I was on for HBO called Tell Me You Love Me. Unfortunately, it was canceled a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, sorry.
Listen, it's the, you know, it's the, what? It's the way the, you know, it's the name of the game.